Okay, hi guys, welcome back. Um, it's our podcast. It's been a while since we done any of them. Um, so what we're gonna do? We're just gonna go with the flow and talk about why do we keep going back to the same person that we said to ourselves that we don't want to be anymore. Okay, and also we're going to talk about how we're going to stop being that person, how we're going to stop bringing those things that happened in our life before, and how we're going to evolve from them instead of just going on and on in a circle. All right, so well, the examples could be anything, anything could be going back. Let's give you this as an example. When you meet certain people that you grew up together, or you friends with, and they always seems to have the same type of conversation. Example, oh, do you remember when we done this and we done that? So whenever you speak to them, it's always they speak to you about memories. They never done anything new, right? All right, you might say that, oh, that's the way of normal human beings connecting. um, well, it's not really, right? So that's just a way of being able to identify the person being in the same state of mind. And if you're not careful, you will probably end up um, being in the state of mind that you was when you was friends with them. So what am I saying? I'm saying basically that when you stop being friends with someone, or not necessarily you had an argument or anything, most of the times it's just not in touch with a lot of people, and when you grow, a lot of people will either grow with you or will just fall back, right? So you have to think and you ask yourself, what's the reason, right? Now, a lot of people around you might not just fall back, they might just evolve, right? You might just hear of someone that is open a business or is doing really, really well, and then you and that person might not have a lot in common anymore. And then it's not just, you see, so anyone can evolve in a better state, and anyone can stay back in another state, as in the you can be in the state of being poor, in the state of being unhappy, and so on and so on. So as we all of us promised ourselves when we was children, like when we was young, we promised ourselves that oh, I'm gonna be the greatest in this, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do that, and it was good, nice feeling, because you said it with a feeling. But then slowly we got through the journey, and we forgot what we promised ourselves. Also, we evolved, and we maybe grew out of that thing that we wanted to bring in our lives. So now we are grown-ups. We're here probably listening to me, and if you are listening to me and something brought you here, maybe it's time for you to change. That's I'm actually 100% sure it's time for you to change. You're actually growing if you're listening to me speaking right now. And not because me, the speaker, I'm somehow better than anyone. It's just the energy within that is actually speaking. It's not me, the vessel. I'm just the vessel here. So I'm just giving you the information from within, right? So it said, unless you get born again. In most of the books it says from above, but recently I've discovered that it's meant to say from within, right? So unless you are born from within, you will not enter into the heavens, right? So what does that mean? It means you have to change yourself, right? You have to look at the world, or look at this person or that person, your son or your daughter or your brother or your sister, as being the cause, right? They are not the causation. The causation is within your mind, within your brain. So basically now what I'm doing, I'm turning to you as a brother, as a sister, as a neighbor, as anyone, as a brother basically, and sister, because we're not even brothers and sisters, we're actually just one. We're one with many faces, right? And then that is a little bit of food for your thoughts. You will have to do a little bit of research on that, all right? And what I'm trying to say here is, if you don't start acknowledging your thoughts, you will always dwell in the house that you are right now. What house am I talking about? Well, basically the body is a house for us, right? You dwell into a city. That's what is said in the Bible as well. You will dwell in the city until you're ready to be called. Basically, you are dwelling in your body right now, and when you're ready to be born from within, which is when you start listening to your thoughts, and then you take control over your thoughts, and you take control over the feelings that you attach to your thoughts, you know. Then you will start, of course it has to be in a positive way, because if it's not, then you'll just go lower than you are. So what I'm saying is, every thought you have, if is attached with feeling, it gives birth to something in your world. You may think that this can or cannot be true, but I dare you to try it, you know. So basically, in other words, you cannot disapprove something based on being stubborn, or from the attitude of being stupid, right? You can't be ignorant in saying that is not true unless you tried it, you know. And by trying it, even though you would try to disapprove it, this work will prove itself, because this work is working. I'm talking out of experience, and when I say experience, that means that I spend a lot of time in my mind, and I try to take control over my thoughts, and I try to guide my thoughts, right? So I'm not controlling my thoughts as you would control whatever, you know, as one might say, as society controls us, but not even society controls us. So it's a bit hard to say anyone controls us. The only person that controls you is your own self, and the only reason that you think that someone else is controlling you, because you giving him or her the power to control you. But the actual person that controls you is your own self. Let me explain what I mean. If someone calls you stupid or wise, it's only for you to identify or not identify with the cause or to the solution, right? So exactly what do I mean? Because you can go even deeper than that. Well, when I call you, I make a compliment and say, oh, you are wonderful, or you are amazing, right? Then you would intake it, and you will analyze it, you know. Oh, if you analyze it, you're one of the few, right? But most of us, they just intake information, and they just attach feelings to them and accept them, right? So you have to be one of the person that analyzes and accepts what you want. Plus, I could call you dumb or smart, you know. You could be neutral to both of them, you know. You should be like water, you know. Be flow all the time. So basically, what I'm saying is, instead of taking anything as personal, just try and analyze it a little bit. And once you start analyzing everything, being positive or negative, then you would understand that it's only you that is the cause, right? And it's only you that is the salvation, right? And it's only you that you keep yourself in the same state. So it's easy to blame others, you know. Others are just an image of who you are inside. It's easy to come out and say, oh, you never do this for me, you never did that for me, and it's easy to do that, you know. I've been there myself, you know. I've been there. I blame the government, the system, everything, the people around me. I was the God outside of me, and so on, right? But once you start discovering that the God, the real God, is within you, is the energy that keeps you alive, is the energy that gives you the movement. Without that energy, you would not be able to move, you would not be breathing, you would not be, basically, in other words. So that's when you understand that you are the cause and solution to. So basically, you are living in God, and God lives within you, right? How amazing that is, you know. So God is omnipresent and omnipotent, right? So what you want to do now, you want to take control of your thoughts. In which way you take control? Not by forcing them, right? If you try to force yourself to be happy, you will only turn around and bite your bum even more. You will end up being more unhappy than before. So basically, what you have to do is just try and relax yourself a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of break. Love yourself a little bit. Say to yourself, you know what? Me and you have been through a lot. How crazy that is, because you say me and you. So that means that the person within you and the body is two different things, right? But you are the same person with God, as in you are God, right? So if you say me and you, you're referring to you and another person. But in this case, you should refer me and the body, right? So that goes to show that you are not the body, right? Because you say me and you, right? Me and you been through a lot, right? You don't say, okay, my body. You say again, you see, my body is not the body, is my body, your body, and so on. You say my body has been through a lot. You don't say I been through a lot. You say my body's been through a lot. So basically, in other words, I'm trying to raise awareness here. I'm trying to tell you that there's a being within yourself, which is the energy, the God himself, right? And I'm trying to tell you that you have to let that person guide you, right? So first of all, be appreciative of your body. Be appreciative of everything that you have. Be appreciative of the things that you want in your life. Be grateful, be thankful for all the things that you want and wish towards yourself and towards others. And also, if you wish good things for you and you wish bad things for your neighbor, then those bad things will come to you. Keep that in mind, right? That's what the Bible means. It doesn't mean nothing else, you know, because that neighbor is actually you put out, right? It's nobody else. It's just you put out. In other words, you don't want something to happen to you, don't do it to someone else. That's basically it. I know this is philosophy, but this type of new thought is called. It's not new. It's not me that I brought it to market. There's plenty of other people that actually brought it to market. And then in one of the oldest books that we know, the Bible, has been brought out, right? So let's go back to how do we deal with not going back in circles and circles and circles. Because let me explain how it happens. You know, when you lose your temper for a little bit, and then in the beginning when you start meditating or you start you have the will to break the chain, basically. But you have to keep in mind that will is amazing and is stronger than the habit. Now you have to keep in mind that you are actually using will because you have a desire, right? So will would not happen without you having a desire, right? And what is that desire? The desire is to break the habit of you being in a state, right? So you had enough of being there, being that person. You're not happy as being that person. You're ready to grow, you're ready to expand, right? Now, if you do it with meditation, it's a lot easier because meditation is medicine and is assisting you in stepping upwards, you know, and expanding. But if you do it just by will and just by struggle, you will have a lot of steps forward and back, you know. So what you want to do without being too harsh on yourself, you have to sit down and meditate a little bit. Again, like I said, you have to make peace with yourself, give yourself some love, be appreciative of things that you've done in the past. In your mind, if you're not happy about something, you can't hold it against yourself, because if you are holding against yourself, that will create a chain reaction, and from that thought you will end up thinking something more negative and more negative, and before you know it, you're having an exciting day in terms of you're gonna have a moment of crisis, and you say, oh, this is not working, this doesn't work, I can't prove this, you know. And then when you find another peace, a moment of peace in your life, you will try again, because you will remind yourself, but it does work, I know it works, you know. So that's why it's easy to do with meditation. Right now, we are making these videos, we're trying to reach out to many people and help many people, and we don't just want you guys to say, oh, this is very important, oh, this is very good for us, oh, this is very this is very that, right? We want you to take action, right? So how do I want you guys to take action? Apparently, I was googling action, and action means something very, very deep. Apparently, is one of the most amazing words in the English language, in all the languages, you know. Action, it takes a lot of willpower, you know, because once you take action, is so basically, before you can take action, you have to endure for a little bit, you know. If you was to, I'm not gonna go through it, but if you was to Google action now and read into it, you'll be amazed what you're gonna find there, you know. Apparently, to get action is time times energy or frequency or something like that. I can't remember, I read it some time ago, but you can Google it and check for yourself. So basically what is happening here is two of the energies in this world combined together in the word action, right? So what you want to do, you want to understand what does it mean and what does it take to take action, you know. What is implying there, and why we only, most of the time, me myself in the past, and sometimes even now, but very rarely, but in the past more often, I wanted to do something and I couldn't, you know. I was just stuck. I was just wanting to do it, and I would postpone it for so long and for so long, and I would find all sorts of excuses in this world not to do something. But apparently, to start taking action, it takes a little bit of energy, right? And to take action means you moving forward with the velocity of something, right? So I know it's a bit complicated, and maybe I'm using words that you guys are not used to, or maybe you guys are still way above and beyond my words. But what I'm trying to say is, if I'm using anything here, just Google them and you will understand, right? So basically, what you have to do, you're putting something into motion. That's what action is, right? So to put something into motion, even though you put your thoughts into motion, right? Because first, everything starts within here, and then if you combine it with your heart, you know, with the feelings of your heart, then it's a lot easier for you to get into motion of doing something, right? And that is the fact in action, right? Okay, right, now let's go back to the thing that I said, everything goes back into a chain, right? And now once you start from a small thought, you have to keep in mind you are still in the habit of thinking in a certain way, in a certain pattern, and that's why everything is like a chain. Like if you was to think something negative, and then you would catch your mind and say, you know what, no, I'm not gonna stand for this, no, actually I am happy, I am wealthy, or whatever you want to, you know, you will change it straight away. And it might be a little bit of inner battle, and if you still can't do it, you just go and sit down and meditate, right? Or just change your surroundings immediately, or just put on a song that makes you happy, or just read something that makes you happy, just to break that chain for a little bit. Because if you dwell in it, before you know it, you know, before you know it, your mind will creep back into that thought, right? And then you have to catch your mind again, you know, because that is what habit is. you go where you are used to, right? Don't you look, I'll give you an example. I know most of us have been bad behaved when we was young, you know, and we was troublemakers, or we was, I don't know, we just done something, I don't know, maybe we was running from someone. The first thing that you do, you run home, right? You run home. That's because that's the place you feel secure, right? The same with these feelings and thoughts. The first place that you would go to is the place that you're accustomed to, the place that you're used to, and that's where you were gonna go first, right? Now, for you to imply a new chain of thoughts, it takes a little bit of action, right? So you can't just I mean, there is the way of learning how to swim by throwing someone in the deep waters, but sometimes in cases you might have to jump up after the person, right? But in this case, if you jump into deep waters, chances are that you will end up being overwhelmed, and then you will end up being in the same state of mind as before. So basically what you have to do, you have to take control in what way? By meditating. You sit down a little bit in the morning, you sit down a little bit in the evening before you go to sleep. You start a little bit of more positive thinking in terms of, like I said, if you, as soon as you start making peace with yourself, and as soon as you start making peace with people around you, make peace with everyone that harmed you, make peace with everyone that you hold a grudge against. If you don't know how to do that, basically, look, bring the person that you hate the most in your life and just forgive that person. And I promise you, when you wake up the next day, you'll be like, whoa, what happened, right? So something will change in you, something will change in you. And you take that with everyone around you, right? And don't forget to do that with your own self. Forgive your mom, forgive your dad, forgive everyone. Forgive everyone that is being there, and you think they was the cause, right? So once you done that, everything is gonna be a lot easier for you, a lot easier, right? So you forgive everyone, forgive yourself. The next thing you do, you start changing the way you think by adding new chain of thoughts. And how do you do that? Well, whatever you want to identify yourself with, that's what you want to add into your life. So you want to be a famous, I don't know, dancer, singer, model. That's what you have to identify yourself with. And whatever you let your mind dwell upon, that's what's gonna come in your life. That's what's gonna come in your world, and that's what's gonna reflect in your world. And if it doesn't, well, the thing is, you have to check yourself. How do you do that? Well, if in your world things are not changing, and you around you is still those people that was before, and you are still in the same circle of influences, that means you wasn't holding to your faith. And what do I mean holding to your faith? You wasn't holding to the new self. You'd run back to the person that you used to be, right? So in other words, instead of you thinking of yourself as being respected, or a good friend, or a good provider, you're still thinking of yourself as being unworthy, as being a drunken, or whatever you decide, whatever your state of habit is at the moment, right? So again, before we say goodbye, a couple of things. Make peace with yourself, make peace with everyone else, forgive everyone, forgive yourself, forgive and forget. Because if you see the person on the street that harmed you, or been rude to you, and you remind yourself of that, that means you haven't forgiven the person, right? Next thing, forgive your boss. Stop having argumentative conversation in your mind with these people, because that's will only reflect in the world for you, right? So you cannot come and say me and this person don't get along very well, is because maybe in your mind you're always arguing with this person, right? And that's how you check yourself. You always check to see what's really going on, right? Don't gossip, and be a bit more positive. That's how you change things. Obviously, for more details in this matter, you can always contact us privately, and we will try and help you and guide you the whole way, right? Well, don't forget to meditate in the morning, in the evening. Meditate with positive attitude. In the morning when you do it, see your day as being amazing, and in the evening when you do it, everything that didn't happen your own way, change it again and make it appear in your mind's eye as it was when you visualized it in the morning, right? Guys, I wish you well. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the love. Thank you for being positive, and thanks for trying to change yourself. And by changing yourself, you're actually changing the whole world that you live in, right? We appreciate you. Stay happy, stay wealthy, stay healthy, and keep on keeping on, right? That's pretty much it, guys. All right, so I wish you all the best, and take care. All right.